But Joe, gotta move on from boxing, man, and switch over to the NFL for a split second because the Commanders making moves, man. Adam Peters out here making moves. Magic, them boys out there, they making moves. Y'all see the heading. Deebo to Washington, D.C. They play with Jaden Daniels and the Commanders. The trade was made. They went through. Joe, you tell me, man. I'm gonna let you break the trade down and all that, man. What are your thoughts about Deebo Samuel being traded to the Washington Commanders?
I like it.
Mm.
I actually love it. Now, do I think it's an AJ Brown trade? No. I don't think that. Do I think it's a DeAndre Hopkins trade to the Cardinals? Nah, I don't think that. But it's a good trade, AJ. It is. And a lot of people are killing this trade. First of all, people are acting like we fans are like, we going to the Super Bowl because we got Deebo. That's not the case right now. We know we got a lot of holes to fill.
Well, y'all unreasonable fans are acting like that for sure.
Yeah,
but guys like you, no.
I feel you, and I get it.
Every fan base got those.
I mean, come on now. What would you do if your team was trash, number 2 pick in the draft, which is you had the second worst team in the league, and you get to the NFC Championship game the next year? What you gonna do? And you add Deebo, you thinking if you don't really pay attention, you like, we got to the NFC Championship game and we added Deebo. Oh, we no, that's not the case. We got a lot of holes to fill. But I love this move. $17.5 million contract for 1 year on a prove it deal. Prove it year? That's where he's at. Somebody said, oh, he overweight. He got fat. Okay, you know what he said? He tweeted, said, yeah, somebody said, I think it's over 200 pounds one day. He said 225 to be exact. But he said, can't wait till the season start. First start, new Deebo. So he ready. And he wanted to come to Washington. He seeked us. He went to us and said, I want to play with y'all. So I like that he wanted to go to a contender. That's amazing. People see us as contenders. I love it. Now I know how you feel, AJ. Now I know how you feel. People see Commanders as a contender. They want to play with Jaden Daniels. You saw my boy T-Mac in the draft? Like the T-Mac in the draft? My man said Jaden Daniels. I ain't hear nobody else. What I'm saying. He said over Patrick Mahomes and everybody. I don't even think they threw Hurts in there. That's great.
They didn't.
That's disrespect. I ain't gonna lie. But he already got Smitty and AJ Brown. So if he get there, he's gonna be like a Jahan Dawson. But speaking of Jahan Dawson, we traded Jahan Dawson for a 3rd round pick. We used that 3rd round pick we got from Jahan Dawson and a 4th and a 6th to get Lattimore. To get Lattimore, we got a 5th back, and we used that 5th to get Deebo. So basically, we traded a 3rd round pick, a 4th round pick, a 6th round pick for Lattimore and Deebo. I'll take that, AJ. I would definitely take that. I'm not gonna lie. Now people might say Lattimore watch well stuff. I'm gonna give Lattimore another chance. He came in the middle of the season with a hamstring injury, so let the man play a full off season. Let's get another cornerback, and we have 3 decent quarterbacks. I'll be straight. My man Mike from Michigan will be better this year, so I'll be excited about that. Now Deebo, people saying he washed. Is he really? Is he really washed? Now last year he had a down year. Don't get me wrong. Christian McCaffrey was hurt. Brandon Ayuk was hurt. So Deebo was the eye focus. He was the guy like you got to put a lazy beam on. He's going to get the ball for sure. But even in his down year, AJ, do you know he led the league in yards per reception? He led the NFL. When Deebo gets the ball, he make magic happen. I'm sorry. He averaged 8.3 yards per reception. Yak yards. Yak. He averaged 13.1 yards per catch. That's pretty decent last year, right? So he's dangerous. And playing with Jaden Daniels is a weapon. Terry McLaurin is Terry McLaurin. So when you line up with the Commanders, right? You gotta think about, okay, Deebo motion out, right? Deebo motion, like, okay, what's gonna happen? Are they gonna do a jet sweep with Deebo Samuels? Is he gonna hand it all to the running back, or is he gonna keep it and run it, or is he gonna throw it over the top to Terry McLaurin? So what I think the Commanders are gonna do, Deebo is not gonna be our true number 2. I don't think. I think we're gonna draft the receiver in the 1st round, probably, or we're gonna get a receiver far in free agency, and they might be our number 2, like our Brandon Ayuk. Like type our a guy we could depend on more so outside of Terry, who could beat somebody on 3rd down. And Deebo gonna be that Swiss Army knife. Like you could just put him anywhere with Cliff Kingsbury being excited. So I love the move, AJ. A lot of people trying to kill it. Obviously, this ain't putting us over the top, putting us with y'all as far as roster wise, but it put us in another level. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I mean, you know how I feel about Deebo. You know what I mean? I haven't been the biggest fan of Deebo for a while now. I will admit he had a
Off
great
the field.
2020. No, on the field too.
Oh,
Like remember I said this year when it was, or this offseason when the Niners was about to trade away Ayuk, I was like, I don't think if they lose Ayuk, I think they done because I don't think Deebo could carry the load. And then Ayuk came out, he got the extension, and then Ayuk got hurt. And one of the first things I said was, I don't know about him as a receiver. I don't know about him as a route runner. I'm just not the. He's a good player, but I don't think he's gonna be able to carry the load. Now, granted, Deebo did deal with some injuries and things of that nature. So that's a part of the reason why he didn't look the same last year. But kind of what I said ended up coming to fruition. Like he looked kind of how he looked a little worse than I expected last year. But what I will say is, Deebo, when it comes to just raw numbers, I mean, 802 yards receiving 1 year, 391. He had the 1,400 yard receiving year, 636, 892. Like he ain't gonna give you eye-popping, gaudy receiver numbers or even eye-popping yards as a running back either, because we know they run him out of the backfield as well. The 49ers did, but he does have big-time impact. And the thing I will say I like about Deebo is his mentality and the toughness that he brings to wherever he's playing. Like, I feel like a big part of the 49ers was, when I thought of the 49ers, one of the first players I thought of was Deebo, just because he's the guy that brings that toughness. He's the guy that's running through tackles, breaking tackles, getting in guys' face, talking trash. Like, he's one of the guys you absolutely positively have the game plan for if you're going up against the 49ers. And so overall, even though I'm not the biggest fan of Deebo as a player at this point in his career, for the Commanders, I do like the move because you do have another weapon on that offense that can take the ball out of the backfield, that can hit some jet sweeps, that can catch some screens and take it to the house, that can bring that energy, that tenacity on offense. You got a guy who's going to catch the ball. He ain't going to be fumbling all over the place like De'Ami Brown. You know what I mean? Like, even if it comes down to the simple stuff, I know he had a couple drops late in the season, but I think he's sure-handed. I think he's a guy that's going to protect the football. I think he's a smart football player. So I think he brings that to the Commanders. I don't think they had that this past season outside of your guy, Scary Terry. Mm-hmm. So he's obviously an upgrade at receiver 2. You can make an argument like maybe an upgrade at RB2 as well, potentially. Like he is an upgrade for the offense. I agree with you. I don't think that, and I don't know if you said this or not, but they're not done. I think the Commanders got some more moves coming up here in free agency that is going to fill out this team a bit more, and y'all got some draft picks. On his head, as an Eagles fan, when the trade was, because I'm expecting y'all to make moves, when the trade happened, I said, okay, like, I expected this. Mm-hmm. And if there was any receiver that I would prefer as an Eagles fan, I'm not gonna lie, if there's any receiver that was available that I would prefer for y'all to get, it will be Deebo. I'm not gonna lie, because you know how I feel about Deebo. But that's me as an Eagles fan. Me as just a pure NFL fan, as an analyst, and somebody looking from an objective standpoint, I think it's a solid move for y'all. I really do. I think it's a solid move. Get the ball to him, get out of the way, see what he can do. Get the ball to him, get out of the way, see what he can do. The more options Jaden Daniels has like that, the better off the offense will be. But for me, I'm interested in seeing what else y'all do, because I'm like that ain't it. That's cool, but we gonna see what else y'all do. And I will say this, and I'll because we talk about the Commanders, I'm gonna give a little spoiler alert. We're gonna talk about Devontae Adams pretty soon, so I'm gonna just get this spoiler alert because I got other teams I'm gonna talk about too within the Devontae Adams thing. This is what I will say: if I am the Commanders, I might draft a receiver to be receiver 2. If I'm the Commanders, just cut Devontae Adams. Excuse me, Mr. Tate, you trying to come to DC? That's the first call I'm making. Like, I'm pairing Terry McLaurin up with a guy that could challenge him for receiver one because of the stress it puts on defenses and the window that I believe y'all are in. You might feel differently because maybe you want a younger guy, but I'm looking at it like, look, y'all was just in the NFC Championship last year. Your boy on a rookie contract, Jaden Daniels. If I can go get a Stephon Diggs, if I could go get a Devontae Adams, if I could go get a proven guy at receiver that's looking to win right now, and then pair him up with, now you got Jaden as a threat to throw and to run. You have Terry McLaurin, obviously on the outside as a threat to do his thing. You have Deebo doing his thing, and then you pair him up with a guy like Tay Adams. Now you cooking. Now you cooking with some grease. So that's just me. So that's why I say I'm interested in seeing what else y'all do, because there's nobody can convince me that y'all not gonna make more calls at receiver. Like, y'all gonna make some more calls at receiver, and I'm interested in seeing who y'all bring in, if anybody. I'm interested in seeing how that goes.
I mean, T. Higgins available.
I mean, look, they just franchise tag T. Higgins, all right?
Yeah,
that would be nice too.
But here's the thing, though, with Devontae. Like you said, the age, man. I get it. We want to chase something right now, but I mean, come on now. Deebo is already about to be 30. Terry McLaurin is getting up there too, by the way. I mean, Terry McLaurin ain't the youngest dude, but he ain't old. He like 27, something like that. All right, 28. But Devontae Adams, yes, he's still an elite route runner. We're gonna get to him, but I wouldn't want to get him right now. If we can get him for a cheap deal, if he's cheap, yeah. But if he's not cheap, no. Let's get somebody else. We got patience, man. And we don't need Devontae Adams right now to win something. We can get somebody else, to tell you the truth. But Deebo Samuels, you mentioned the big play machine. One thing about Deebo, he makes that one play that get the whole team hype. That one play, you saw it 2 years ago. 3 touchdowns. What kicked it off? The screen. He called a screen. It was a touchdown, and that's how you know the crowd defense going crazy. Scored 7 possessions straight, something like that. Remember that? So
he was balling.
He like that man. Like when I look at Deebo, sorry, I said Deebo. Deebo, I don't look at his production. No matter what his production is, AJ, you line up on defense, you watching him because of the big. He like Percy Harvin. Remember Percy Harvin? He was so scary with the ball.
A more physical Percy Harvin, without like, he's not a speedster, but he's a physical bruiser that has the impact like Percy, I would say.
Yeah, my point is the big play. Like, if Percy Harvin get the ball, it's dangerous. Like, I remember we played when he was a Seahawks. He scored 2 touchdowns back to back, and they both got called back. It was crazy, right? And then he scored a third one that was a real touchdown. But he scored a kick return in the Super Bowl, by the way, against the Broncos. Percy Harvin. And Deebo ran a pump back, a kickoff back, and they got called back. He's a kickoff returner too. So my thing with Deebo, when he's on the field, one thing that Eagles fans always said, "Oh yeah, I got is Terry. So we got to worry about is Terry." Not no more. Deebo ain't got to get one catch, but if he's on the field, you're going to account for him because of the big play threat he is. And you know we're going to move him probably every other play. Every other play he's motioning. Every other play that's going to happen. Defense is going to shift, and then you're going to have to make a decision. You know, either we're going to have to make sure he don't get this big play going on, and we're going to, like I said, we're going to get somebody else, or we got to do with Terry. And when Terry's one-on-one, I'm cool with it. I'm cool. I know you got that little rookie over there, but he won one-on-one.
Little rookie, don't disrespect Quinyon. Like, he ain't.
Look, Quinyon, you did your thing, but Quinyon, y'all never blitzing. You got 4 rushes every time, and you got safety help almost every time. So it's not like he one-on-one on the island. All right, so I ain't giving him too much credit, but he did his thing though. He was the best rookie cornerback last year. He ain't like my man Gonzo and the Patriots. He wasn't like that. He wasn't like PS2 in his rookie year. He wasn't like my man Sauce, but he did his thing though. So, but my Terry would love to see him one-on-one without the help. Because when he had the interception, it was like 3 dudes over there. I'm forgetting about that. All right, so
only 2 guys touched the ball on that play though, and it was him and Q. That's all I'm saying. You lucky I ain't got my Q stats in front of me. But this I'm gonna let you get these shots off for now. Just know, I didn't know we was gonna go here today, but just know.
I ain't trying to take a shot, but my whole point is you gonna have to see, like, when we get somebody else, it's gonna be Terry will have more one-on-one opportunities, which is beautiful for my boy Jaden Daniels, because he got that accuracy. We know that.
Like I said, as a fan of the sport, I'm like, okay, this is a good move for the Commanders for all of the reasons that you say. Because I do agree, defenses, you got to have really good eye discipline. You got to know what you're doing against him. You got to, first off, you got to tackle. I think that's the biggest thing. when he went off against us, we had a bunch of guys that couldn't and wouldn't tackle. So he is a big play machine, and he asked to go here. He getting a little older, the window is closing, so he's going to be hungry and determined to make this a big time year. As an Eagles fan, I ain't worried about Deebo. I'm not gonna lie, bro. Like, as an Eagles fan at this point, bro, with these young corners that we have, with this young defense, now we got to bring back Zach Bond. We got to see also what Philadelphia does this offseason, because Philadelphia got some guys that they need to bring back. They got some guys that is rumored they're gonna make a trade. It's a lot of stuff going on with Philly too. And we throwing money. We throwing money right now. You know what I mean? So I'm interested in seeing what the approach is gonna be to this offseason, especially defensively. The offense is basically set. I think we got to re-sign Cam Jurgens, our starting center, at some point. But the offense, we will. Yeah, how are we not letting him go out the door at all? And so that'll happen, but I'm very interested in seeing the defensive approach. But if we can bring back Zach Bond, I know we lost Slay, but I still like Isaiah Rodgers. You got Q, you got Cooper DeJean in the slot. I think in the defensive front, and I don't know if it's going to happen. But if you manage to make a trade for Myles Garrett or even a Max Crosby and pair him up with Jalen Carter in the middle, and then you got Nolan Smith on one side and a guy like Max Crosby on the other side, goodness gracious. And so as an Eagles fan, I ain't tripping. And we got Vic Fangio. So I think Vic Fangio will have us prepared for matchups like that. Now, what would make me a little nervous is if y'all make another big time move for a big time receiver. Rookies are rookies, but if y'all make another move for another receiver that's going to play on the outside, not a guy who's going to move all over the place, somebody that's going to play on the outside. Now, that could be tricky on our defense.
And put Deebo in that slot. Ooh.
I see, but we got Q for this. Or we got Cooper DeJean for the slot. That's why I say I'm not too worried about him unless you get another guy. If he's the only other guy, bro.
I mean, Cooper DeJean, he a physical dude, but my man physical too.
But he got to get open on Coop. That's the problem. He got, bro. Hold on.
It ain't about that though. That's not Deebo. Deebo ain't no. I mean,
but you saying when you say put him in the slot, I'm thinking he coming out of the slot, making a move, quick sense and things like that. If you use Deebo, like I said before, quick jet sweeps and screens and things of that nature, then we having a different conversation. But when you say slot, I'm thinking like you finna have him in the slot running routes and stuff. I'm like, what?
But with Deebo, it'd be quick action though, so to get the ball in his hands.
See, but
DeJean gonna have to tackle. I know you like tackling.
I'm
just saying.
You see what he did to Derrick Henry? Dropped him on his nugget. I'm just saying he dropped that ball on his nugget. I'm just saying
that man had full momentum, and Derrick Henry there.
You see what he did to Jamar Chase when Jamar Chase was doing all that running back and forth, and my boy was right there, hit him in the legs. Boom, we going the other way. I'm just saying. I want to see what Philadelphia does if they continue to work on improving this defense, or if we retain guys, or if we mess around and lose a bunch of guys. I think then we can readjust the conversation about the defense. You know what I mean? Then we can readjust how we look. But like, just hypothetically speaking, if we run this same defense back, even without Slay, and y'all got Terry and y'all got Deebo, with our linebackers, defensive lines, and say,
we're not done, man. We're not done.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I said. I want to see y'all continue to. But I'm just saying, as an Eagles fan, I'm like, okay, it's cool. I'm not. It's not for me. It's not a needle. It's not a needle mover. But let's see what else they do though, because clearly guys want to come play for y'all. So
of course, here's a cool thing though. March 10th, which is next Monday, the day before the show, is when legal negotiations happen. When they say, "Oh, such and such signed with us," and it's not on paper, but it's like verbal. Yep. So we come on the show on Tuesday. We're gonna have a lot of the moves to talk about on Tuesday. So we know our team's gonna be busy, and then the legal documents can be signed on the 12th, which is Wednesday. So I can't wait. It's gonna be a good show next week.
Definitely, I'm looking forward to it. Man. We got two aggressive GMs, man. Dallas, get like us, man. Come meet us at the party, man.
I give Dallas credit for signing their D tackle.
Yep.
And restructuring CD Lamb's contract also. They did that today. So I give them credit for that. But come on now. They ain't touching Howie and Peter. Come on,
man. It's looking that way so far. But we gonna see. But yeah,
Howie name is HR. Dang, that's crazy. What's the initials? Dang,
I never
he's a hiring manager for real.
Right. He getting people paid. HR.
Yeah, human resources.
I'm still in that. Thank you. I'm still in that.
I just realized that. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's funny.